Mason Rudolph explains Steelers' pitch about QB's situation before signing. As of right now, Mason Rudolph is atop the Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback depth chart. That, of course, is before the expected signing of Aaron Rodgers, but Rudolph is coming to Pittsburgh with the thought he would have a chance to be the team's backup and an outside chance of competing for a starting role, he said on the Cavalli and Mack podcast. Absolutely. Guardiola confident of Champions League berth. I think they know what I can do, what we were able to do there towards the end of 2023. They're confident in me. They know I can play well when asked of me. When my number's called, Rudolph said. I assumed they were going to sign people and add to the roster. They always go to training camp with 4 quarterbacks. So I knew that going in. Rudolph says he has met Rodgers as a rookie and would look forward to working with a 4-time MVP if he signed with the Steelers. I've met Aaron after games only over the years, Rudolph said. I remember my rookie year, we played a preseason game there in Lambeau and kind of had a rough early outing, and it was so cool I thought for him to come over and he said, hello, and kind of offered some words of encouragement. It motivated me to keep working hard, which doesn't happen a lot. Rudolph went 1-4 in his starts in 2024, throwing 9 touchdowns and 9 interceptions while amassing 1,530 over the year. Now, Rudolph is back on the market, and the Steelers could be one of his landing spots. Rudolph's breakout 3 games came at the end of the 2023 season, where he led the Steelers from 7-7 to 10-7 and a playoff berth, where they would lose to the Buffalo Bills. The Steelers drafted Rudolph in the 3rd round of the 2018 NFL Draft. He stayed with the team through the 2023 season after a second lease on his NFL life. Comparing self to Derrick Henry or Dalvin Cook, Steelers' Caleb Johnson highlights his versatility. While Najee Harris might not have been the best running back in the league, he was a solid player for the Pittsburgh Steelers. In his 4 seasons with them, Harris didn't miss a single game. Consistency was the name of his game, but this offseason, he left the Steelers for the Los Angeles Chargers. That left Pittsburgh with a hole in its backfield. In the 3rd round of the draft, the Steelers selected Harris's potential replacement in Caleb Johnson. The Iowa product recently spoke about his running style, giving fans an idea of the type of player he could be. I feel like I'm a versatile back, Johnson said Monday during an interview with Missy Matthews on the team's website. I can be a Derrick Henry back, or I can be a Dalvin Cook back. And I felt that's what separates me from a lot of backs in the league, and in this class that I came into. Overall, I feel like I'm a fast back and I could be a strong back also, catch the ball out of the backfield. I'm really reliable. Johnson has garnered a few comparisons to Henry, who's currently a star for the Baltimore Ravens. They're both taller running backs, playing with a bruising style, but also having some finesse for their size. Like Henry, once Johnson gets a full head of steam, he's very tough to bring down. That's why, despite Johnson's 40-yard dash time only being a 4.57, he had several long touchdowns in college. If Johnson has a lane, his top speed can be a problem for defenses to stop. Mike Tomlin didn't seem concerned about his speed, and apparently Johnson doesn't think it's going to be a problem either. Right now, Cook is a free agent, but a few years ago with the Minnesota Vikings, he was one of the most electric running backs in the league. Compared to Henry, there was a lot more shiftiness in Cook's game, paired with his 4.49 speed. Those are 2 different backs with very different styles, which makes it so interesting for Johnson to compare himself to them. However, that speaks to his point about versatility. Johnson fits the Steelers' mold at running back. He's big, tough, and fights for yards. However, unlike Harris, there's some juice and burst to Johnson's game. Johnson is also a great scheme fit for Arthur Smith's offense, which tends to feature more outside zone runs. All those things should help Johnson find success in Pittsburgh. While he has things he still needs to work on, pass protection being chief among them, Johnson has acknowledged his weaknesses. And he's got plenty of strengths that should help balance them out. Steelers privately create verbal agreement with QB Aaron Rodgers per insider report. The deadlines keep coming and going, meaning they never existed. The calendar has passed over halfway through May now, and there is still no final decision from Aaron Rodgers on his future. The former Green Bay Packers and New York Jets quarterback is a free agent with 2 choices in front of him. He will either retire, ending a remarkable NFL career assuredly bound for the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Or Rodgers will choose to play one more season and join the Pittsburgh Steelers. And maybe door number one has already been chosen. All other teams have committed to or have a quarterback plan in place. While the Steelers technically have Mason Rudolph at the ready, they are banking on Rodgers to give them 1 year to bridge to their next franchise quarterback. Rodgers has spent time working out with DK Metcalf this offseason. The Steelers have traded away their problem-making wideout and have a defense that can shoulder the load for the aged quarterback. But it would seem none of that matters. Rodgers remains wildly unpredictable in these latter stages of his career, and this decision has come on his terms entirely. The situation since free agency, the draft, and even after Pittsburgh has their schedule for 2025 has not changed. However, Rodgers' biographer, Ian O'Connor, believes that decision is coming and it may be to the benefit of the Steelers. I do think there will be a happy ending, at least for him, and we will find out for the Steelers and their fan base, he said during an appearance on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh. If I had $100 to put down, my feeling is he will be in uniform June 10th for the start of the mandatory minicamp. That is certainly a positive for Steelers fans who want him on the team. There are concerns about Rodgers' current personal issues that he mentioned on a recent appearance on The Pat McAfee Show, but O'Connor does not think those will impact a return. I did reach out and I think I have a good sense of what that is, and I don't think it would prevent him from playing football with the Steelers. O'Connor, who has a history with Rodgers and knows him better than most, even goes so far as to suggest that there is a sort of verbal agreement here. I just think verbally behind the scenes, not that he guaranteed it, but he's told them, listen, I'm going to play for you. I just don't want to go there and then miss part of mandatory minicamp because of my personal issues. Except for the personal issues part? That sounds promising. At the same time, Rodgers could also go in a completely different direction and dump on that assumption. So maybe the Steelers know. But Steelers fans certainly do not.